Hello, everybody. It is time I review one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode, The Tale of Yokai. So, if you don't know the last episode, the Turtles were time traveling in Fournette, and now a timer happened, causing them to be trapped 16 years into the past, where we see a human Splinter and before Orokusaki becomes Shredder. And it's quite surprising when they're fighting Hamato Yoshi's ninjas, and they start to realize it is that clan, and they think they're yokai. They didn't, because I don't think mutants are really known yet until the events of the show, and they're getting chased by all these ninjas until they're confronted by a younger Shredder, and then the Turtles get out of there. And somehow their medieval times outfits, the Maze of the Mutants outfits they wore, they're gone. Like, I wonder what they did with them. I guess they just got rid of them, but off screen. But the Turtles are trying to spy on what Shredder is up to, and that's where we see where Splinter grew up. He grew up with his father, who's very old, and he's at risk of dying, and Shredder and Splinter are basically sparring. It's like they're of course jealous of each other. Well, it's mainly Orokusaki who's jealous of Splinter, and we could see the funny side of Splinter, since he cracks jokes towards Shredder, like saying his imagination's going wild once he's talked about yokai. But anyway, meanwhile, that's where we meet Tang Shen for the first time in this show, and she's raising baby Karai, or Miwa, whatever you want to call her, and she's basically conflicted about staying with Splinter. This is because he's too occupied with the dojo, and he's worried about his father dying, because he's literally at his last few moments before he passes away. But Tang Shen really wants to just move to New York and kind of just start a happy life there, because she wants to travel more and leave, I guess, Tokyo, wherever they're at, behind. But Splinter's still hesitant. But as this is going on, Shredder is still jealous that he tries to make a move against Tang Shen. And the Turtles are witnessing all of this. They're basically witnesses to this soap opera. Basically, I'm not saying it's bad that there's romance. It's meant for the story, basically. It made sense for what drives Splinter and Shredder. It makes perfect sense, in my opinion. But basically, the Turtles are spying on Tang Shen until they meet up with her. And she's very kind. She first freaks out, of course, because never seen the Turtles. But they try to assure her that they're good yokai. And she literally tells a story about yokai and how they like cucumbers. It's quite a story. But the Turtles are going to try to convince, that she's meant to go to Splinter, not Shredder. Because they know Shredder's the bad guy. And then Mikey was even suggesting that maybe Shredder's a good guy. And Raph's are you crazy? I like that line. But then Tang Shen is still hesitant. But it isn't until later that night. Orokusaki is now ready to abandon the Hamato clan and start the Foot Clan. This is basically the origin. And we get a bunch of cool backstory about basically that Shredder and Splinter were never really brothers. They were adopted. I mean, we did get told that in season 2, but we get more glimpses at it of what Shredder views it all as, since he never really liked Hamato. And that's where it leads to their big fight. But during that, the Turtles are messing around with the Hamato clan. They're pretending to be yokai. They're going along with this whole them being, And then we get this odd scene where they're jumping on them, they're tickling them, throwing, like, chains at them, hopping, like, it's meant to be funny. But then, as this is going on, Shredder and Splinter finally fight. The fight we've been hearing about since season 1. It's basically a fight over jealousy, over Tang Shen. And basically what happens is the two fight like Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar, and the house is about to burn down because Shredder caused the fire, the candles in the dojo. And the turtles tried to save Tang Shen, but they realize that time is starting to change. Because if Tang Shen goes to Shredder, that means the turtles never go meet Splinter at the pet shop. And that means Casey and April would fade away from meeting the turtles, and it basically be like a flashpoint. And then it's basically like Back to the Future, where Marty McFly has to have his parents meet so him and his siblings can be born. But basically, the turtles are kind of if they can't save their timeline, they're either gonna just finish Shredder off in the past. But they realize if Tang Chen and Shredder go together, then that means Krang will invade Earth and nothing will stop them other than the turtles, because only the turtles were able to save New York, which makes perfect sense if you think about it. But anyway, it ends with Tang Shen trying to break up the fight, but Shredder, you can debate this if you want, but Shredder basically kills Tang Shen, and then the collapse of the fire happens, and then Shredder gets burnt. That's how we know Shredder got burnt, because he was hit by fire. And he takes Karai and says he's going to call her that. And the turtles basically save Splinter and drag him. And Splinter wakes up, is devastated what happened. As we now know, Splinter thinks he knows his wife's gone. He thinks Karai's gone. But then the turtles are super bummed. Like, it's super powerful. Like, this is one of the greatest moments of the show. Like, seriously. But the turtles are super bummed. They did fix their timeline, yes, but now they're stuck in 16 years in the past. It makes me wonder what year this is. I'm going to guess it's 90s or 2000s. I did the math while watching this episode. So, you can comment it below whatever you think it is. But the turtles get rescued by Renette by the last second, since she's basically been searching for 6 months for them. So what makes me wonder, how long have they been on that planet on 16 years in the past? But then they're taken back to the present, I guess. Who knows? But anyway, that's the episode. This is easily one of the best episodes of the show. I don't think I had any issues with it. It was just a great time with really good storytelling with Splinter, Shredder, Tang Shen, the turtles, and seeing their reaction to what events unfolded for the rise of Shredder. So this episode's easily a 10 out of 10. So what do you think of this episode? I don't know what the next one is. I think it's going back to the simpler episodes, but we'll have to wait and see. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power!